Welcome to Bright Minds Station, the place where imagination meets prehistoric power. Today, we're diving into an epic showdown between two of the most powerful predators to ever walk the earth. In one corner, we have the Tyrannosaurus Rex, known as the king of the dinosaurs with its massive bite and strong build. In the other corner, we have the Spinosaurus, a giant with a sail-like spine and deadly claws, perfectly adapted for life in water. Who would win if these two titans faced off in battle? Get ready for an action-packed journey through history as we compare their strength, speed, and survival skills. If you enjoy dinosaur battles and want to learn more about the ancient world, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Bright Minds Station, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Let the battle begin! Dino profiles, T-Rex and Spinosaurus compared. To understand this epic clash, we first need to know who these contenders really were. The Tyrannosaurus Rex lived around 68 to 66 million years ago in what is now North America. It was a giant, land-walking predator that stretched up to 40 feet in length, stood about 12 feet tall at the hips, and weighed as much as 9 tons. This dinosaur was built like a tank, with massive jaws and a strong frame built for hunting. Meanwhile, the Spinosaurus lived earlier, between 112 to 93 million years ago, in North Africa. Unlike T-Rex, it was even longer, reaching up to 50 feet and weighing possibly as much as 20 tons. Spinosaurus also had adaptations for life in the water, making it the largest known carnivorous dinosaur in history. Although they never actually met, comparing them is a fascinating glimpse into how evolution created two very different, but equally terrifying, predators. Bite power and dental weapons. When it comes to bite force, T-Rex is in a league of its own. Its bite was one of the most powerful of any land animal ever, with a force estimated at around 12,800 pounds per square inch. Its teeth were thick, sharply serrated, and designed to crush bone and rip through tough muscle and sinew. Spinosaurus, on the other hand, had a bite force of around 4,200 psi. While still impressive, its teeth were more slender and conical, shaped more for gripping slippery prey like fish than crushing bone. Its jaw was better suited for aquatic hunting rather than battling large land animals. In terms of sheer jaw strength and lethal efficiency on land, T-Rex easily takes the edge. Brain power and sensory superiority. Beyond brute force, intelligence and sensory ability also play a major role in any predator's success. T-Rex had a relatively large brain for its size, and its forward-facing eyes provided it with strong binocular vision, essential for tracking prey and judging distances. It also had an exceptional sense of smell thanks to a large olfactory bulb, which allowed it to locate prey over long distances or scavenge effectively. Spinosaurus had a smaller brain in comparison, and its sensory capabilities were less developed for land-based hunting. However, some paleontologists believe it had pressure-sensitive receptors in its snout to detect movement in water, making it well-suited for aquatic ambushes. Still, in terms of brain power and all-around sensory skill, T-Rex appears to have held a considerable advantage. Skull design and battle mechanics. When it comes to head-to-head combat, the design of the skull plays a huge role in how each dinosaur would fight. The T-Rex had a short, wide, and extremely reinforced skull, acting like a natural battering ram. Its thick bones and deep jaw muscles allowed it to withstand and deliver incredible forces during biting and shaking. This skull wasn't just for chomping, it was built to crush and destroy with brute power. The Spinosaurus, however, had a long, narrow skull similar to that of a crocodile. This shape was perfect for snatching fish and swift prey in the water, but much more fragile when it came to high-impact combat. While it may have had a faster bite due to its slender jaw, it couldn't withstand the kind of stress a T-Rex skull could. In a direct, skull-to-skull collision, the T-Rex's heavy, durable head structure would almost certainly overpower the more delicate build of Spinosaurus. Speed and movement on land and water. Speed and mobility can turn the tide in any predator showdown. T-Rex was a fully land-based animal with powerful legs, capable of reaching running speeds of up to 17 miles per hour. While it wasn't the fastest dinosaur, it had enough speed and stamina to chase down slower prey. Spinosaurus, by contrast, was built for a semi-aquatic lifestyle. Its long, crocodile-like body and paddle-like tail helped it glide through water with ease, but these same features made it slow and clumsy on land. In a purely land-based scenario, T-Rex's speed and mobility would give it a significant edge. In water, however, Spinosaurus would dominate, making this battle highly dependent on location, body structure, and defense. Defense is just as important as offense in any clash of titans. T-Rex had a stocky, muscular build with incredibly thick bones, a massive skull, and reinforced vertebrae that helped it absorb impact and deliver crushing blows. Its body was built to endure and inflict damage in high-intensity battles. Spinosaurus had a longer, leaner frame with an unusual sail on its back. The function of the sail is still debated. It may have helped with thermoregulation, mating displays, or fat storage, but it likely added no real combat advantage. In terms of physical durability and defensive features, T-Rex was better suited for direct confrontation and could take more punishment in a brawl. Arms, claws, and close combat tactics. The arms of these two predators were very different in both size and function. T-Rex is famously known for its tiny arms, but don't be fooled. They were incredibly strong and could lift over 400 pounds each. They were likely used in mating or to help it rise from the ground, but not much in battle. Spinosaurus had much longer forelimbs with 3 sharp claws on each hand, potentially useful for slashing or grabbing prey. In a close-quarters fight, Spinosaurus could theoretically land hits with its claws. However, T-Rex would likely respond with its jaws, which remained its most dangerous weapon. While Spinosaurus had more reach with its limbs, T-Rex had the ultimate killing bite, habitats, and hunting grounds. Where these dinosaurs lived tells us a lot about their behavior and lifestyle. T-Rex roamed lush forests and river valleys in North America, preying on large herbivores like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus. It was an apex predator, well adapted to land hunting and possibly scavenging. Spinosaurus, in contrast, lived in the wetlands and river systems of North Africa. Its body was adapted to life near water. It likely hunted large fish and aquatic prey, and may have even waded or swam to ambush its meals. These vastly different environments meant that their survival strategies were built for entirely different challenges. T-Rex ruled the land, while Spinosaurus was king of the rivers. The hypothetical showdown, land versus water. So, who would win if these two giants ever met face to face? On solid ground, T-Rex would likely dominate the battle with its superior strength, bone-crushing bite, agility, and defensive build. Its predatory instincts and land-based advantages make it a fearsome opponent in a terrestrial fight. In contrast, if the battlefield was a river or swamp, Spinosaurus could exploit its swimming skills and aquatic agility. Its long body and claws might allow it to maneuver better in water, while the less water-adapted T-Rex would be at a disadvantage. The outcome depends heavily on the environment, with each dinosaur excelling in its own natural habitat. Final thoughts. Both T-Rex and Spinosaurus were apex predators that thrived in completely different worlds. T-Rex, with its unmatched bite and keen senses, was a master of the land. Spinosaurus, with its unique aquatic adaptations, ruled the rivers of ancient Africa. Their differences show us how evolution creates specialized tools for survival and how being the best often depends on where and how you live. In the end, it's not about which dinosaur was stronger, it's about how each was perfectly adapted to its own environment. Studying them helps us understand the amazing variety of life that once roamed our planet. If you enjoyed this dino duel, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support. Subscribe to Bright Mind Station for more prehistoric battles, science fun, and wild facts from the past. And ring that bell so you never miss the next ancient adventure. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep learning, keep exploring, and stay curious.
What happens when two of history's most terrifying dinosaurs collide in an epic prehistoric showdown? Would the massive Spinosaurus use its aquatic edge to dominate the battlefield? Or would the land-roaming powerhouse Giganotosaurus prove too aggressive to handle? These ancient giants never met in real life. But today, we're imagining the ultimate battle between the biggest carnivores of all time. And trust me, you don't want to miss this colossal clash. You're watching Bright Mind Station, the home of epic creature face-offs, science-powered storytelling, and mind-bending prehistoric battles. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a fight as big as this one. Dinosaur Showdown. In one corner, we have the Giganotosaurus, a land-based predator with bone-crushing jaws and raw physical power. In the other, Spinosaurus, a semi-aquatic titan with massive sails and crocodilian jaws. These weren't just dinosaurs, they were apex killers, each dominating different terrains in the late Cretaceous. They lived millions of years apart, yet comparing their anatomy and predatory skills gives us insight into what could have happened if they ever crossed paths. Today, we're bringing that hypothetical to life with a breakdown of size, strength, speed, strategy, terrain, and more. Let the ultimate dino duel begin. Size comparison. Spinosaurus is often hailed as the largest carnivorous dinosaur ever discovered, stretching up to 60 feet and possibly weighing 31,000 pounds. Its signature sail-like spine and elongated jaws gave it a striking, unforgettable look. In contrast, Giganotosaurus measured about 45 feet long and weighed up to 17,600 pounds, but with a more compact, muscular build. While Spinosaurus had the edge in length and height, Giganotosaurus had a better balance of weight, stability, and acceleration. When it comes to close combat, being nimble and solid often beats being bulky and slow. The Spinosaurus looked more intimidating, but size alone doesn't win a fight, especially when agility can turn the tide. Pause. It's not just about who's bigger, it's about who can use their size better. Speed and movement. The Giganotosaurus could reach speeds of up to 31 miles per hour on land, making it one of the swiftest theropods. It used its long legs and streamlined body to chase and corner prey in open terrain. Spinosaurus, although powerful, was built more for swimming and could only reach about 15 miles per hour on land. Underwater, Spinosaurus had the clear edge, using its paddle-like tail and long body to glide swiftly through rivers and swamps. But on solid ground, Giganotosaurus would run circles around it. Land mobility matters most in a straight-up duel, and Giganotosaurus wins there hands down. Built for survival, Giganotosaurus relied on its massive size, thick skin, and sharp senses to stay safe. It could detect prey or predators from a distance and react fast. Its skull bones were lightweight yet strong, designed to absorb impact without slowing it down. Spinosaurus, while enormous, didn't have many land-based defense strategies. Its bulky sail may have made it a target rather than a shield. The structure could have been used for display or thermoregulation, but in battle, it added surface area, making it easier to hit. Against a fast and tactical predator like Giganotosaurus, that's a serious disadvantage. It's like wearing a flag in a sword fight. Weapons and bite force. Giganotosaurus had 76 serrated teeth, each up to 8 inches long, perfect for slicing through flesh and bone. Its estimated bite force of 6,000 psi allowed it to deliver devastating, fatal blows. Spinosaurus had 64 cone-shaped teeth, more suited for gripping slippery prey like fish. Its bite force ranged from 4,200 to 6,500 psi. Strong, yes. In this face-off, Giganotosaurus brought the better tools for war. It fought like a heavyweight boxer, while Spinosaurus was more of a spearfisher. One is trained for combat, the other for capture. Hunting styles. Giganotosaurus likely hunted using ambush and endurance strategies. It could charge at prey, deliver deep wounds, and follow until the animal weakened from blood loss. Spinosaurus was more of a solo predator, stalking fish in murky waters and scavenging near shores. It wasn't built for long chases or land ambushes. Its long snout, similar to that of a crocodile, was excellent for catching aquatic prey, but ineffective in ground combat. In a direct confrontation, Giganotosaurus used cunning, stamina, and power. Spinosaurus? It was a specialist, brilliant in water, but less equipped for all-out brawls. The home field switch. Let's not count out Spinosaurus just yet. If the battle occurred in or near water, it could flip the script. Its powerful tail, webbed feet, and streamlined body made it an efficient swimmer. In water, Spinosaurus could ambush from below, drag opponents under, and drown them. It's like fighting a crocodile in a swimming pool. Giganotosaurus wasn't made for swimming. If lured into deep water, it would struggle to stay balanced or escape attacks. In this setting, Spinosaurus transforms from underdog to apex predator. It's a complete reversal of power. Battle intelligence. Intelligence isn't just about brain size, it's about how a predator uses its senses, memory, and tactics. While we can't scan their minds, Giganotosaurus had a relatively large olfactory region, suggesting keen smell and heightened situational awareness. Spinosaurus may have had a specialized snout for sensing vibrations in water, useful for catching fish, but not as helpful when face-to-face with a terrestrial titan. Evaluating Giganotosaurus likely adapted to dynamic threats. Fossil debates and unknowns. Paleontologists still debate Spinosaurus's true form. Some reconstructions suggest it walked on all fours due to a center of gravity near the front hips. Others propose it had a bipedal gait similar to other theropods. Giganotosaurus's fossil record is clearer. Its build suggests a predator optimized for land. Still, both species leave scientists with puzzles. Bone fragments, missing limbs, and gaps in fossil layers keep theories fluid. Until we have complete fossil records, much of this is science mixed with imagination. Legacy of two titans. Both of these dinosaurs hold legendary status in the world of paleontology and pop culture. Spinosaurus, thanks to its starring role in Jurassic Park 3, is often viewed as a mysterious giant of the rivers. Giganotosaurus, on the other hand, has gained attention in recent years for being a formidable rival to the T-Rex and a true land-dwelling titan. Their stories remind us how vast, varied, and vicious the age of dinosaurs truly was. And here on Bright Mind Station, we'll keep bringing these prehistoric legends back to life, one epic battle at a time. Final verdict. So, who wins this battle of giants? In most likely scenarios, Giganotosaurus walks away the winner. With its land-based speed, brutal strength, and sharp instincts, it simply outmatches the Spinosaurus on the battlefield. But switch the setting to water, and Spinosaurus could claim victory in its element. This ultimate predator face-off proves that nature built champions for different worlds, and when those worlds collide, only the best adapted survives. You're watching Bright Mind Station, where the wildest what-if questions come to life. If you loved this dino deathmatch, hit the like button, subscribe for more epic animal battles, and share your dream matchups in the comments. Until next time, stay curious, stay wild.
What happens when prehistoric power meets fantasy fury? Imagine one of Earth's most feared predators, the mighty T-Rex, charging full speed at a flying, fire-breathing dragon. It's the ultimate showdown between fact and fiction. In today's epic face-off, we'll pit science against legend, examining strength, weapons, strategy, and stamina, to find out who would actually win in a fight, the real-life terror of the Cretaceous or the mythical beast of fire and flight. And trust us, this isn't just make-believe. We're using biology, physics, and imagination to give you the most accurate prediction possible. So who takes the crown? Stick around to find out. This is Bright Mind Station, where epic questions meet incredible science. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's jump into battle. 1. Physical size and strength. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was a true tank of a predator, weighing nearly 9 tons and standing over 20 feet tall. With muscles packed into every limb and a skull almost 5 feet long, it was a walking engine of destruction. But dragons, depending on mythology, are often depicted even larger, some reaching lengths of 50 feet or more, with wingspans that could block out the sun. While dragons are fictional, if we base them on the laws of physics, a realistic dragon might weigh about 15 tons due to flight adaptations. This gives the dragon a size advantage, especially from the air, but T-Rex has solid mass and ground leverage, which could become critical in close combat. If you had to face one in an arena, T-Rex or dragon, who would you rather battle? 2. Weapons and natural defenses. T-Rex are one of the strongest bite forces ever recorded, up to 12,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Its 60 razor-sharp teeth could crush bone like butter. While it lacked clawed forearms, its massive jaws were its ultimate weapon. The dragon, on the other hand, has an arsenal: claws, fangs, a whip-like tail, and of course, fire breath. Some dragons also have scale armor, which might deflect bites or blunt force trauma. So while T-Rex dominates in bite power, the dragon takes the lead in having multiple attack methods and natural armor. That's a serious advantage in battle. Which weapon do you think is deadlier, fire or bone-crushing teeth? 3. Intelligence and hunting instincts. T-Rex had a brain relatively large for a dinosaur and was likely smarter than we once thought. It had excellent eyesight, a strong sense of smell, and pack-hunting instincts. But dragons in nearly all legends are portrayed as intelligent, sometimes even wise or cunning. They can ambush, plan, and use tactics, not just brute force. If we assume the dragon has animal-level intelligence similar to wolves or eagles, it still surpasses a T-Rex in terms of strategic thinking. This could mean the dragon would choose when and how to attack, using its environment to its advantage. Could a smarter opponent always beat a stronger one? What's your take? 4. Flight versus ground dominance. Here's where things get wild. The T-Rex is a ground-based predator, fast for its size, with some estimates putting it at 20 miles per hour. But it can't jump, fly, or escape upward. The dragon, with massive wings, can fly, giving it a huge advantage. It could launch aerial strikes, stay out of reach, or retreat to cliffs and trees. If the dragon chooses to fight from the sky, the T-Rex becomes a sitting duck. But if the dragon ever comes down, that's when the T-Rex's raw power becomes deadly. So air superiority belongs to the dragon, but it better not land carelessly. Would you bet on the sky or the earth? Tell us who has the real advantage. 5. Fire breath versus bone-crushing jaws. Now to the fantasy element, fire breath. If we assume the dragon can unleash temperatures over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, it could incinerate anything it hits. T-Rex skin wouldn't stand a chance. A direct blast could end the fight instantly. But dragons likely need time to generate that kind of heat, and if the T-Rex closes a gap quickly, it could take the dragon down before it breathes fire. Also, real-world biology would limit fire to short bursts. So while fire is devastating, it may not be a continuous attack, giving T-Rex a slim chance if it can dodge or strike fast. Fire has always symbolized power and destruction, but it's also unpredictable. If a dragon were biologically equipped to breathe fire, it would need a highly specialized anatomy, perhaps separate fuel and ignition systems similar to electric eels and bombardier beetles. The process might require rest intervals between blasts, making timing crucial. If the T-Rex charges during a cooldown window, it might land a deciding blow. On the flip side, one successful blast to the face could end things instantly. It all depends on timing, distance, and who strikes first. 6. Battle tactics and terrain. If this fight took place in a jungle or dense forest, the T-Rex might have an edge. It could ambush from cover, trap the dragon under heavy trees, or use tight spaces to prevent flight. But in open terrain, the dragon reigns supreme, taking off, diving, and breathing fire without obstacles. The terrain would play a major role. If the dragon gets pinned in a narrow canyon or caught during landing, the T-Rex could take it down with a single crushing bite. On the other hand, if the dragon stays airborne, it could roast the T-Rex from above and never even get touched. Which battleground do you think favors T-Rex? Jungle, canyon, or forest? 7. Endurance and stamina. The T-Rex was built for short bursts of explosive speed and energy, but it likely tired quickly due to its massive size. Dragons, assuming bird-like anatomy, would have lighter bones and be capable of longer flights. But flying takes an enormous amount of energy. The dragon might have to land and rest often, which makes it vulnerable. In a long, drawn-out battle, both creatures would tire. The difference is, the T-Rex can still fight on the ground. If the dragon collapses from exhaustion, it's game over. So endurance is a toss-up, depending on how long the fight goes. Stamina also depends heavily on metabolism. A dragon might have a high, bird-like metabolic rate to fuel flight and fire. That means faster fatigue, especially if flying in combat mode. The T-Rex, cold-blooded or semi-warm-blooded, as some paleontologists believe, would conserve energy better but rely on short, devastating bursts. The longer the fight drags on, the more tactical it becomes. Not just physical. 8. Psychological warfare. Dragons, with their terrifying roars and fiery displays, might psychologically intimidate the T-Rex. After all, no dinosaur ever saw a flying creature that could spit fire. But T-Rex wasn't exactly a coward. It regularly faced other massive predators like Triceratops and Ankylosaurs. If anything, a charging T-Rex might surprise a dragon with its aggression and lack of fear. Still, a fire-breathing, wing-flapping enemy is something the T-Rex could hesitate to approach, and hesitation in battle can be deadly. So psychological warfare slightly leans in the dragon's favor, with a roar or a fireball in the intimidation game. 9. Defense mechanisms. The T-Rex had tough, scaly skin and a robust skeleton, but it was still vulnerable to punctures and fire. Its small arms offered no defense, and its large head was an easy target. The dragon, on the other hand, might have scale armor like crocodiles or even metal-hard hide, depending on the fantasy world. It could use its wings to shield itself, retreat into the sky, or use its tail like a whip. So when it comes to defense, the dragon simply has more tools, especially with the ability to avoid the T-Rex altogether from the air. Is thick armor more useful than agility in a one-on-one fight? 10. Who would actually win? If the dragon keeps its distance, uses aerial attacks, and breathes fire from afar, it would almost certainly win. Its ability to fly and its versatile attacks make it the superior predator. But if the T-Rex manages to lure it to ground or lands a surprise ambush, one bone-crushing bite could end the fight instantly. In a head-to-head clash with no fire and no wings, T-Rex dominates. But in a fantasy setting with all dragon abilities included, the dragon wins 7 out of 10 times. It's a brutal, legendary fight, but the edge goes to the mythical beast. If you could create your own battle rules, how would you even the odds? One is a real apex predator that once ruled Earth. The other is a fire-breathing legend etched into every fantasy story. This battle isn't just about brute force. It's about brains, weapons, and survival. So, who's your winner? Are you Team T-Rex or Team Dragon? Drop your vote in the comments and tell us how you think this battle would really go down. If you love this epic showdown, smash that like button and subscribe to Bright Mind Station, where wild science and crazy questions collide.